What is a balloon payment?
A balloon payment is it's an amount that it's more like they put it away. It's a debt.
Yes.
That they put it away to say you'll pay it after
So
you've paid off.
let's talk about those who want to invest, right? What do they look at? Where do they invest?
There's a lot of platforms. There's a lot of solutions. It's always you have to understand what does the client want and what is that specific goal they want to achieve. So for someone who says, I want to invest, first of all, first thing that we're going to do a risk analysis to understand what kind of investor are you. Are you a moderate person? Are you a consecutive person? Are you an aggressive investor?
The scammers, the charlatans, people who are not well trained,
yes,
who pass themselves off as experts, and
100%.
they're not.
Yes, and that is why it's important to always verify who comes in front of you, who sits in front of you.
How do you do that?
So on the FSCA website, there's when you go to the FSCA, there's a page where you are able to check the registered financial advisors.
So you've got to have a license.
You're going to have a license as a business. So if I'm an individual, I must be able to produce you something called a disclosure letter. That's got my ID number for you to be able to verify.
One more week, one more episode. This is the Professionals Network podcast with myself, Theo Mapheto. This is a platform where we like what we say and we say what we like. We did say that we bring you professionals from all walks of life, from accounting to pharmacy to medicine to law. Today is no exception. We're bringing you a sister of mine, a friend of mine, Nonhlanhla Nxele. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and how are you, Theo?
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Excellent. So
Great.
We are at your offices in Rivonia.
Yes.
Fancy offices. You're making money.
Hi, Bo. We are doing our best.
Yes.
Yes, we're doing our best. Thank you for coming to our offices. We appreciate it.
Excellent. What's the name of your company?
Esteemed Financial Solutions.
Esteemed Financial Solutions.
Yes.
What do you do?
We offer comprehensive financial planning, financial coaching, and employee wellness programs as well.
I note that you say comprehensive financial planning.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Comprehensive financial planning is actually different aspects of financial planning, which involves your retirement planning, investment planning. It could be in short-term, long-term investments. We're talking, could be health, meaning your medical aid. We could be talking short-term in terms of personal lines for your cars, your commercial, for your business. So that is comprehensive financial planning. And that could be on individual and for the business.
I see. So let's talk individuals for now.
Okay.
This is a Professionals Network podcast.
Yes.
So I'm a young man.
Yes.
I have just recently completed my degree.
Yes.
I have a beautiful job,
Yep.
well-paying job.
Great.
I come to you.
Yes.
What do you look into?
First of all, it's important to also understand what are your goals and what do you want, right? Sometimes your wants could override your goals because now you would want to say, I want a car, I want this. But the first thing is to understand where you are financially. You might be earning a good salary and everything else, but the question is how are you managing that money on a month-to-month basis? What are the liabilities, if there are any? Obviously, we're talking could be student loans that you carried or credit card that you could have.
Yes.
Because banks do offer credit cards to students when they're actually at their last year.
They do, eh?
They do. I promise you, especially when it comes to professions such as your doctors, your engineers, and whatever, they give them those kind of
So
packages.
they offer you a credit card even before you finish?
That's the packages that they give them.
Crazy.
Yeah. So some will just jump
What's your
into it.
advice there? Is a student supposed to be taking up a credit card?
No. Why to do what? Exactly. Because that creates a certain lifestyle that you don't know, and now you want to jump into this credit card lifestyle that you cannot maintain. I can tell you right now, there are people that are sitting with more than 150K in terms of debt in credit card. And this is now a recent client that I'm currently working on right now. Imagine having 110,000 Rand in credit card.
I see.
Because why? You want to maintain a lifestyle that you are not aware of now because you've got the credit card. You feel like your credit card is actually money available to you. It's not.
Is it not?
It's not money available to you because you're paying interest into it. And most interest rates are very high. You can even pay 29%, 39%, 30%, I don't know, depending on the bank, when you got the credit card.
So on the scenario that I've just sketched,
yeah.
I come to you, I have a credit card.
Yes.
I also want to buy a fancy car, obviously.
Yes. Your verpa.
Your verpa. Where do you start?
So I would say, first of all, we say, hi Theo, give us your budget.
Yes.
So first of all, we want to see your monthly budget. We want to see those list of liabilities. From that point, we then assess to say, where are you at?
What are liabilities? The credit card will be there.
Your credit cards, your loans, you could be clothing accounts,
I see.
could be any other accounts that you are carrying.
Yes. So a clothing account is also classified as a liability?
Yes.
I see.
Because you're paying interest.
You're paying interest, yes.
Unless if you're doing a labor, then it's not an account. But if you're opening an account to say you're going to pay whatever over 6 months or 12 months with certain interest, it's a liability.
Yes.
So you take that, you assess and say, with what you're being paid every month, looking at all the expenses, how much are you left with? From the surplus that you have, sometimes they're not even surpluses, unfortunately. And that's where the credit card comes in, because I cannot maintain this lifestyle now. Where must I go to increase that credit card? But for someone who has a surplus on their budget, we then say, let's use the surplus to kill this liability. Because a VORPA comes with additional cost. It's petrol, it's insurance, it's maintaining the car, and all of that. So, and the monthly installment that you're not used to. That is already looking at your monthly surplus might not even cover that car installment. So reduce those liabilities to a point whereby you can pay them off so that you are able to have sufficient money for the insurance. So you must add it up in total to say, in a month, what is the estimated consumption of petrol I would need? What is the estimated insurance? Especially for younger people, it does get a bit costly because it's their first time driving. Maybe they just recently got their license and stuff like that. It also goes with, what is this thing? The code of your license, your code C, and you also have a factor in that. And then obviously your age also, the location. So all those kind of things, they come into factor to create that premium for your insurance. So sometimes it does become costly. Plus your car payment. And in your car payment, again, there's a lot. There's going to be additional stuff that they're going to put in the car for your maintenance, your warranties, and whatever. Do you
negotiate, if we're talking about the car, do you negotiate payment terms and interest for them?
No, we don't. But we can advise you.
I see.
We can advise you. So what I've done before with my other clients is to say, if they give you an offer, bring it to me.
Yes.
Let's look at it together. You might have a different eye to look at it. I will have a different eye to look at it.
I've seen young people get into atrocious contracts.
Yes, and the ones that they're going to leave them with balloon payments.
Yes. What's a balloon payment, by the way? I'm happy you're touching on that. What is a balloon payment?
A balloon payment is it's an amount that it's more like they put it away. It's a debt. Yes. That they put it away to say you'll pay it after you've paid off.
Let's talk in concrete terms, right? You want to buy a VORPA, it's worth, say, 1 million rand.
Yeah.
You obviously don't have that kind of money lying around.
100%.
You go to the bank.
Yes. Well, they go to the bank for you.
They go to the bank for you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How does that become a balloon payment?
So now it becomes a balloon because now they're going to come in and say, if it's 1 million as a debt or as the amount that you want to get for the car, the monthly payment is 15,000 rand, for argument's sake.
So you're servicing the loan.
So you're servicing the loan, right?
Yes.
So looking at your budget, you cannot afford 15,000 rand, but we can hold back a certain amount to adjust. So meaning that from the 15,000 you're supposed to pay up, they reduce it to maybe 12,000 rand, for argument's sake.
So instead of paying 15,000 rand
installment, you pay a reduced amount.
I see, but there's a catch.
Mm-hmm. The catch is this balloon payment that you are creating. It starts kicking in at the end of the term of the first one. So if you say that your vehicle term or your loan or your repayment term is 60 months or 72 months.
Yes.
At the 73rd month, it starts kicking in. Now you must service the balloon payment. Because it's still a liability, by the way.
Would it be like some
they're going to
lump
recalculate?
sum?
Yes. So they're going to recalculate it to you and say, this is the amount that you need to pay. If you've got a lump sum, you can pay it off. If you don't, then there's a repayment amount, which most of the time, who has the lump sum sitting
So
there?
you're telling me that at the end of the payment term,
Yes.
there's an additional term.
Yes, that will be added because of the balloon payment. But you know,
But why are they getting away with that?
they're getting away with it because we as consumers allow it.
I see.
And because remember, Theo is very excited to get the Vorpa, all he had was approved. That's all he had. He had approved. So for the fact, whatever comes with it doesn't have.
Does he also look at the interest rate? Is he
doesn't.
supposed to look at the...
He's supposed to. And that's why I'm saying, before you sign the contract, bring it to me. Consult. Let's see. Because we are able then to assess to say, is it better to us to service this debt with a full amount, or it's better to service this debt with a balloon payment? Which most of the time I always tell people to run away from the balloon payment. For the fact that you're not able to pay 15,000 is because you cannot afford it. So why even go there?
You could also opt for a cheaper car, I suppose.
That's what I'm saying. So for the fact that you cannot pay 15,000 because you cannot afford it. So rather than look for something cheaper, that it will be affordable based on your budget.
Well, you won't look as cool as you want to.
Doesn't pay to be cool. Eh?
Yes.
At night you're not gonna sleep.
Exactly.
The calls were coming in.
Exactly.
You're not even gonna enjoy that car actually, and it's also that thing that the society has driven up as well to say we have that thing, and I made the very same mistake as well of buying a car before an asset. Why do we always jump into buying cars versus to buying properties? That's the question that I always ask. Why? Is it because...
You tell us.
I mean, I would probably just want to hear your person to say, probably, have you ever thought about it? To say, why buy a car? Because
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
we don't even think about it because we don't know the difference between an asset and a liability.
A depreciating asset?
So a car
Yes.
is a depreciating asset.
So because the price that you're going to get it at, by the time you sell it, it's not going to be the same value. It's going to be a dropped down value because you'd have used the car, used up, it's tired, accidents, all of that, potholes has hit it up, all that.
Yeah.
And it's a dropped value. So what are you left with at the end of the term? Nothing really much.
And that's different from, say, a house.
And I always say, you don't have to, sometimes it's also the person to say, because now I'm a young professional, I must now go buy an expensive unit in Sandton or Livonia or wherever. It doesn't have to go there. You can build a property portfolio with a very small thing. And I always say people, there are properties in the townships that get auctioned because of a late estate, because maybe the person who died could not pay the bond, or any other reasons. The bank does also do auction houses. Why then not go buy there? Because you could be getting it for more or less the same value of that car. And you can service that loan very quickly, because now if you use that property for an investment in terms of rentals, that bond can pay it off. And yet you're building passive income for yourself.
You know what strikes me?
Yeah.
So let's say that property is worth R1 million.
Yeah.
The payment term
Yes.
is not necessarily 5 years like with the car.
The car. Yes. Yes.
It would be like 20 years.
Yes.
Yes. Why is that?
But that's how the system has been structured, you know, and people get that's why they get to delay in acquiring assets, because they're like paying for 20 years, paying for 5 years doesn't make sense. And I mean, one of the clients that we're working on right now, she got a 30-year bond.
30-year bond.
Imagine 30-year bond.
Do they make them 30 years now?
Yes, they even now make 30 years. So imagine the kind of interest that you're going to be paying over the number of years. But when you look at the value of that property, if it could be a good 800K that you got, take that and versus to the car that they would have given you.
There's no comparison. There's simply no comparison.
There we go.
Now, we're still talking about that scenario.
Yes.
The person then tells you
Yes.
about some investments that he wants to make, or some savings. What's the difference? What's the difference between savings and investments, by the way?
Okay, so savings, we are actually talking about just putting money in the bank account for you to be able to spend it for whatever need that is going to be there. And I always say there's savings for emergency funds in the bank account. And there's also savings that you can put away in an investment for also emergency fund. What is the difference between the two? The difference between the two is that in the savings, you're actually putting money that you would have used as if it's your credit card. So whenever there's a shortfall, Shapile tire, you want to get a replacement of a tire, you've got money in the bank account, you just go and buy. So you create your own credit card resources by yourself there. And then with the investment one, I normally say put at least 6 to 12 months worth of your salary. So most of the time, most clients prefer 6 months because it's a heavy lot of money.
6 months.
6 months. So that should anything happens, COVID showed us,
Yes.
That anything can happen anytime.
Tough times.
Tough times, right?
Yes.
So we always say try and make sure that in the investment you've got worth at least 6 months worth of your salary.
For rainy days.
For rainy days. So that should it be you lose a job or whatever happens in the company, because we don't know what could happen. At least you know that you can survive for 6 months with no worries in your salary issues.
So somebody's earning an X amount.
Yeah.
Are you saying some percentage of it should go towards investment?
100%. But again, it will still go back to the budget. Can they afford that percentage? Would it be viable for them to put it there? Again, you can't start there on the investment when you don't have the savings one in your bank account. So let's start with the bank account. Put at least a month or two of worth of your salary there, so that anything for immediate things, for now things, you tap into it.
You know the excuse that I get all the time?
Yeah.
I'm not able to save because I don't I don't earn enough.
It's never enough.
Really?
It's never enough. There's nobody that can tell you that I have enough. But it's all about us being disciplined to understand what we want to achieve. So if you're disciplined enough to say, and I do have clients that have managed to accumulate that kind of money in terms of the investment for that 6 months salary. And one of them was even grateful during COVID to say, no, I don't know what would have happened if I did not do what you said I must do. So it's never enough. But it's all about sometimes you gotta tighten the belt, adjust 1 or 2 lifestyle things that you like so that you can able to. Because once you've got this, at least you've got a proper safety net that you can tap into when there's crisis. Than us trusting in loans and credit card, because I think that is also the mentality thing, to know that even if I don't have anything in the bank, even if I don't have anything, I know that the bank will give it to me because I've got a pay slip after all. So,
but like you say, there's a catch. They can give it to you. There's a catch.
There's a catch. There's a young a client of mine who was not even aware the interest that they charged her. They charged her about 29%. She asked just a small amount. It's a very small amount. When I showed her so I said to her, give me the agreement, because she's already signed it. There was nothing that I can do. But I said to her, let me see the agreement so that I understand the repayment amounts so that we can be able to put it in your plan. And I showed her the interest, 29%.
29%.
29% out of the small amount that she asked for. So imagine having to repay the capital amount plus 29%.
You know, from what you're saying, it seems to me that debt is not something that you should go to easily, that you should approach easily.
Yes.
Is there such thing as a good debt, though?
It's always an argument. People always ask to say, is having a property through debt a bad or good? I always say it's a good thing, because, like I said, it's an appreciation asset. You can be able to create passive income once it's done and being paid properly, and you can even create more property investment through that same good debt. So it is how you manage it. But your bad debt, it is those personal loans, credit card for the lifestyle purposes. That is the bad debt.
So personal loan is not like a home loan? No,
it's not. Definitely not. And that's why I'm able to tell you that the interest could be up to 29%. Yeah, so you also have to and people get so caught up in the one bank that they're banking with to rely on them giving the loan. And only to find out that probably if you were to have shopped around, yes, it does have a certain impact, because some banks, when you do an inquiry, it triggers the ITC to say you're busy doing an inquiry. So the more you do an inquiry, that also reduces your credit score. But if you are certain that you're only going to do this thing once and you're going to clean up again, then it's okay. Because in the next 6 months or 12 months, you get this debt off the record. It's okay. Then for the other cycle, you could be in a clean position.
I see.
Yeah. So you must be sure the time when you're doing the shopping around for that specific need.
Let's talk about those who want to invest, right? What do they look at? Where do they invest?
There's a lot of platforms. There's a lot of solutions. It's always you have to understand what does the client want and what is that specific goal they want to achieve.
Is that why it's important to consult with a comprehensive financial planner?
With a certified financial planner. And some of them, I will say, with other financial planners, of course, because it's not everybody who is a certified financial planner, and there's still people that are still very good in their work, but they're not certified financial planners.
So the certified financial planner is somebody who has written board exams?
Yes, 100%. So it's a global designation, so you are recognized internationally. So for someone who says, I want to invest, first of all, first thing that we're going to do a risk analysis to understand what kind of investor are you. Are you a moderate person? Are you a consecutive person? Are you an aggressive investor? And that is not to say that we stuck with that outcome of that risk profile. It is still within the discretion of the certified financial planner to decide, to say, based on this goal, if you're saying to me, Theo, you want to have certain amount for the next 3 years, I can't go in and invest into 100% equity because that is 100%, that's aggressive. And for you to see results in those kind of funds, that is 5-10 years long term. So I will then say the risk profile says to me, Theo is aggressive, happy, tick. But does it speak to the period or the time frame of the goal that he wants to achieve? Then I will make the discretion in that sense and say, for you to get this, then this will be the specific funds that I will select for you to use for the specific goal or for the specific time frame. So it's always important to consult the experts so that they can be able to guide you further.
So when you're consulting as a certified financial planner,
yes,
how do you make your money?
One, we charge consultation fees because first of all, we need to understand who's Theo. What is Theo about? Yes, we hear that he wants to invest, but we want to understand the holistic of, because if I say I'm just going to give you an investment and on understanding the fundamental of who Theo is, guess what? The investment will be you'll withdraw from that investment before the time. So it's important for me to do a proper work in terms of checking all these things, right? So I will then make sure that I understand what Theo wants and for how long. Then I charge that consultation fee because I'll do the analysis for you, give you a financial plan. So at the end of the day, when you leave our consultation, we will then do the analysis, then give you a report, which is now your financial needs analysis. It will give you your shortfall or your surpluses of whatever we have discussed. Then from there, we then recommend to say, with this plan, we recommend that you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From that, it could either be commission based from the product supplier, or it could be advisor fees depending on the solution. So that could be this. We call them implementation fees in terms of our esteemed language.
I see.
Yes.
Is the charge ongoing?
There is also ongoing because obviously there's ongoing services. So depending on the structure and depending on the solution that we would have implemented for you. So the fees get disclosed upfront. So we give you our SLA upfront to say, here's our SLA, this is our consultation fees, these are our implementation fees, know them upfront. And then there's nothing else from this.
So what's the difference between somebody coming to you or going to, say, I'm going to give them a punt here, going to Liberty?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is that with a financial advisor that's coming from Liberty, that person is only tied to give you solutions around Liberty solutions.
Oh, I see.
They cannot be the same as an independent financial planner. An independent financial planner or financial advisor, I'm able to go around different providers and
shop
around for you. So I become your hippo. So I become your hippo and put the best rates for you on the table, put the best platform cost and everything for you. And I say this one will be the best for you based on the 1, 2, 3 options for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in terms of financial behavior, financial conduct in the country, what's your assessment of the financial conduct of professionals in South Africa?
I think it's I will call it's in an average level. Why do I say that? It's because they're still on that level whereby they understand the importance of creating wealth. Some, yes, they are there, but not fully there. I still feel that there's a lot of work that we as advisors still need to do in terms of empowering them and equipping them. And I say average because some would use your Mr. Google. You know, they'll shop around and they'll look for, and there's all this kind of YouTubers, influencers. They'll share what kind of information, they will make their own decisions. Sometimes those decisions might not be informed, right? Because now, just because Theo, the influencer, said I must go and invest in this platform, it does not mean that it's good for me.
Yes.
So that's why we always say, go back to the certified and say, you know what, I've heard about 1, 2, 3, 4, would it suit me? Would it be a best thing for me?
And as you said, you go through a proper consultation, a comprehensive consultation.
Comprehensive consultation for us to understand, to say, whatever you're coming with, because 90% of the time, clients come, it's the same thing of this thing of a doctor. I always say, let's use the analogy of a doctor. When you go to the doctor, you tell the doctor where is your pain, right?
Yes.
And
your pain, not somebody else's pain.
Yes, yeah. You tell them your pain, and you don't tell them that use a Panado.
No.
To fix this pain.
No.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So you come to me and tell Noni, I want to get 1, 2, 3. Then Noni, they'll now assess you. Understand
because she's an expert in the field.
Yeah. And then she will do a prescription for you for your treatment in that sense.
But why are we finding it difficult to wrap our heads around that? Because when you go to a doctor,
yes,
you wait for the doctor to prescribe to you.
Yes.
But for some reason, when you go to different professionals, you have a different...
We have a different mindset.
Yes.
And I will tell you, it's also the thing to say, when you go to the... If the doctor says 1,000 rand, you'll pay. Yes. Without even thinking twice.
Yes.
But when it comes to financial advisory thing, people are like, why must I pay you if there's a liberty person? I'm like, no, it's fine. Go to a liberty person, but just know liberty to liberty. It's got to just end there. Yes. You know? But it also go back to, let me tell you what triggered this thing, especially in the financial service industry.
Yes.
It is the history and the background of the industry. Yes. That initially it did not have proper accredited people. It could be anybody, and anybody could come into the industry. You're a teacher, you're tired of these kids having a headache, you're like, okay, let me go become a financial advisor. Then you become a financial advisor. You do your thing in your way, yes. And some have got burnt because they've robbed other clients, yes. If I may use that word. Yes. It's been bad. So there's been a wrong perception about the industry. So it is still a very big job for us that are in the industry as young professionals were to say, let's do a bit of cleanup. And right now the FSCA, which is the regulator, is doing quite a lot of that as well, to make sure that the new people that are coming to the industry, they are accredited, they've got the right credentials, and they've got the right knowledge. So that is the most important thing now, that going forward it will clean up eventually. But it is because of the history and the background of the industry that it was anybody and anybody could give you anything and anything. I mean, if you look at the teachers and anybody else, you will see them having pay slips with all kinds of funeral covers.
Yes.
All those kind of things. It's because of that. And because nobody sat them and did a proper financial planning for them. All it was just them selling products to them. And they will take it because that one will tell them it's a different story. They take it.
Because it's interesting you're talking about teachers. You look at the payslip. We'll use them as an example. Yeah. But you know, it cuts across.
It cuts across, definitely.
There's even like 4 or 5 funeral covers. I'm not talking life covers. Do you find that we understand the difference between life covers and funeral covers?
To a certain degree, I felt that the information is now there and available, but we're just not accessing it. And it's all about, we've got this mentality that I only believe the person that sits in front of me and not somebody that is sitting on the screen. We still have that kind of mentality. And that is a sad thing when you're actually dealing with mostly our public servant people. We want people that are going to come and present in front of us so that I can understand what I'm buying. Compared to, Noni would say, I do virtual consultations. I don't have to drive to come to your office, but yet I'm able to do a proper financial planning. No, because I don't see you, I don't trust you.
I see.
So
you're saying there's got to be a mindset change.
It's a mindset change, and also to understand the difference of buying a product.
But I'm getting we have to see the person who's advising. So that, God forbid, something wrong happens, I've got to know where to go.
But you see, that's why we invite you to the office. That's why we get office spaces as well, to say, come to the office. We are happy to have you, to host you in our offices. That's why we've got all this office space to do that. So it is that mentality again, whereby, why must I come to your office when Old Mutual consultant can just drive wherever I am and come to me?
Yes.
And I say, the difference is that Batao Rate says that it's going to be a sale. I don't sell. I don't sell products.
I see.
So they are coming to you because they've got a target.
And it would be Old Mutual products.
It would be Old Mutual products.
It's not comprehensive,
it's not
like you would
that
do.
I would do to understand the whole picture. So yes, you can wait for your Old Mutual or Liberty or Momentum consultant to come to you and look at you and sell you a product. But the most important is that you must know that they won't live without you signing a form. But we can have a relationship of me putting a plan together for you, and you don't even have to implement anything if you cannot afford it.
Oh, it's not like you take possession of the account.
No, I give you the plan. I give you a report.
But why are we afraid of financial planners then?
But that's what I'm saying. To say it's just sometimes probably I would say lack of knowledge. I don't know, or lack of understanding, because that's where the big difference come in. I will give you a plan. And that plan, you can take it and implement with anybody else, but you would have at least paid me. My consultation is to make sure that I'm not really shooting myself in the foot. But initially, when you start the business, you will take anything and anything. But we are at the growth stage whereby we've done quite a lot of that work. Now it's time whereby we say, now clients we are comfortable to say clients must pay for the fees for the services.
Maybe the problem
Yeah.
is, like you said initially, is the scammers, the charlatans, people who are not well trained,
Yes.
who pass themselves off as experts, and they're
100%.
not.
Yes. And that is why it's important to always verify who comes in front of you, who sits in front of you.
How
verify.
how do you do that?
So on the FSCA website, there's when you go to the FSCA, there's a page where you are able to check the registered financial advisors. For us as Esteemed Financial Solutions, we've got a license already. Our license number is 46156.
46156. So you've got to have a license.
You're going to have a license as a business. So if I'm an individual, I must be able to produce you something called a disclosure letter. That's got my ID number for you to be able to verify. So now, if I don't give you my ID number, how are you going to verify? Because on the FSCA website, if you're not putting the 46156 being the license of the business, my ID number on the disclosure letter, you're able to use it as well and verify that it's Nonhlanhla Nxele registered to be a financial advisor. And they even show you the categories that I'm linked into in terms of what can I advise you on. So it's not anybody and anybody that can have the same categories. So it's always important. So don't always just take somebody and anybody and say, I can advise you in investment. Did you verify that they can advise you on investment?
You know what that would do?
Yeah.
It would help people not fall prey to these scammers.
These scammers that are there. 100%.
Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes.
100%.
Because somebody comes and says, you invest, say, 5,000 rand,
Don't
6
do
months
this.
down the line, you'll have 50 million rand.
Yes. Who must you go? Who must you go to verify? It's the FSCA website. So you go to the website, you verify that they must give you a license number. So that license number, you plug it in, it will tell you who this person, it will give you all the details of the business, all the details of that individual that is helping you.
Even with this example that I'm giving,
Yeah.
where somebody promises crazy
monies, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is not on.
It's happening because we fall prey and we are easily to be convinced because we always want quick money. We don't believe in long term, and that's where most of the challenge is at. Long term is the one that pays. Long-term investors yield the result. They'll enjoy the results. So
long-term investors enjoy the results.
End of the day, 100%. So Rona,
there's no short-term. Molo, now you don't do short-term at all.
No, short-term you do.
Yes.
And short-term, that's how I remember the example I said, for 3 years you want to maybe buy a car,
Yes.
cash. Then it's short-term for me because I need to help you put money that away so that by the time you want, by the 3 year, you are able to buy that car cash. So there is that short-term, right? But what we are saying, for you to really see proper results in terms of investment, what investment can do. You know, when they say investment, it's actually can actually build wealth for you without you lifting a finger. It's exactly that. Taking the money, put the money for long term, and let it go. Yes, it's going to do this, over dropping up and down, but the final outcome, you will see this.
Can it get you to a position where you earn passive income?
Yes, you can. You can build it. You can build it to that extent where you really are able to say, and that's why if one of actually my philosophy is to say, let's help you. So we'll take you through 3 stages: become debt free, accumulate and protect it, and retire comfortably.
The 3 stages.
Those are the 3 stages that we take you through.
I want us, the next time we're doing this,
Yes.
we're gonna start with the 3 stages.
Yes.
So say the 3 stages again.
So the 3 stages we take you through to become debt free.
Debt free.
Yes. We help you to.
So you
become
mean to
debt-free.
tell me you can get a person to be debt free, no debt whatsoever?
No debt whatsoever. As long as you believe in the plan and we implement the plan, we can make it.
Some people are living a comfortable life.
Yeah, it's possible, and I can tell you there is. And then we move from being debt free.
That's the first step.
Yes, and then we say, now that you are debt free, now you are able to accumulate wealth.
That's the second step.
That's the second step. Within that, we are able to protect it as well. Within the second step, so we create it and protect it. From there, we then make sure that you retire comfortably. So meaning, while we are after we help you become debt free, as we are helping you to accumulate wealth here, we're also making sure that your retirement is starting to keep up. Because as you know, 94% of South Africans cannot retire comfortably.
94%.
Cannot retire
Jeez.
comfortably. Because we never want to do this. We never want to retire.
Now, I want us to have those 3 steps in mind
Okay.
for the next conversation.
All right.
Is there anybody you want to say hi to? Do you wanna send a message to your mother or something?
Probably I would say to both my parents.
Yes.
As before we started the podcast, it was my dad calling.
Yes.
I think it was just doing a check-in.
Oh yes.
So I just want to say thank you. Actually, not even say hi. So I just want to say thank you to my dad, Aaron Zaba. He taught me a principle that has built this business in understanding that if you speak to a person with their own language, you speak to them.
Oh, your dad is the multilingual one.
Yes, my dad is the multilingual one. Yes. So he taught me to say you must be able to speak all languages so that we can speak to their heart. So should it be that you speak a different language, it will go one ear to the other. So I'm a multilingual person because of my dad. And I want to say thank you to my mom, Fina Zaba. She's been the ground, she's been the foundation of this business and making sure that I strive and I succeed. There are times where I say, hey, go, I'm leaving this thing. She's like, hey, have you ever heard me say I'm not waking up
Yes.
to go to do this business? You not, go ahead. Whatever it is, if there's no money, go sit on your table, you'll do something will happen. So I just want to say thank you for being supportive, for being there, and always understanding this vision and always supporting it anytime, any day. And thank you to my sisters that are always there 24/7.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You want to say?
Well, he's very much involved in the business. So he's really supportive, and I just want to say thank you to him as well, because he also helps in sourcing out business and looking at with clients. So which has been a great support. So thank you to him.
I've seen your little one as well.
He's actually around as well.
Yes.
So I think he's here to pick me up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
There you have it, the Professionals Network podcast. We say what we like and we like what we say. Please do subscribe. Thank you.